study laws. Not laws that are implemented in jurisdiction, not laws invented by humans. No, I study laws that were valid 1,000,000 years ago and will still be valid in 1,000,000 years from now. Laws that work everywhere in the universe, that are placeless and timeless. You can compare it somewhat with the laws of gravity. It was here, it will always be here, and it applies to everybody. These are the laws that were implemented when the universe was created. But the laws of gravity specifically deal with that which you can observe directly. My interest lies in the laws that deal with things you cannot observe directly, but that affect our reality anyway. You can detect them indirectly by observing results of actions, and by using logical thinking. This is an application of the law of cause and effect. Ever heard of it? Ever heard of the law of vibration? The law of polarity? The ancients studied laws of our reality in their search for truth. A lot of these works and knowledge were occulted, kept within a small group of highly educated people who were in the know, so to speak. But today, this knowledge has become available for everybody to study. I have recently noticed that people feel that they are not free, and that their freedoms are taken away from them. So if we study the laws of creation, could we then formulate a law that governs freedom, the truth about freedom, so that we have a better understanding of the condition we are in? The answer is yes, we can. The law of freedom is as follows. As morality increases, freedom increases. As morality decreases, freedom decreases. This should sound familiar. Any parent incorporates this in their child's upbringing. As soon as your child behaves more according to basic moral standards, you tend to give it more freedom. But to really understand this law, I will take you on a journey to the understanding of moral law, the definition of property, harm, right, the non-aggression principle, and even Satanism. The concept of property is not one that man has created by law. Imagine a world without man-made laws, the world of early human, or the world of indigenous tribes in the rainforest. Do they have any properties? Yes, they do. Every human being at any point in time, anywhere in the universe, is given properties as a part of creation. Your life, your well-being, your freedom of sexual association, the products of your labor, security of your living domain and privacy, your free will, your ability to take informed decisions. Again, let it be clear that these 7 types of property have nothing to do with man-made laws, but are installed as part of creation. Now we understand what property really is, we can explore what doing harm is. The definition of doing harm is as follows. Doing harm equals taking away those properties without your consent. We have words for every form of taking away or every sort of harm done for each of the 7 properties. The taking of your life is murder. The taking of your well-being is assault. The taking of your freedom of sexual association is rape. The taking of all products of your labor is theft. The taking of security of your living domain and privacy is trespassing. The taking of your free will is coercion. The taking of your ability to take informed decisions is lying. This sounds familiar. Ask any kid, and they will more or less come with the same list of things you should not do to any other human being. Now you know why. It is actually the real definition of doing harm. Doing harm consists of murder, assault, rape, theft, trespassing, coercion, lying. By the way, do not underestimate the harm of lying. Even a small lie can cause someone to make a decision they wouldn't make if they were well informed. And a big lie can cause hundreds of thousands of deaths. Just think about the lie about the presence of weapons of mass destruction in Iraq. That was a starting signal of a terrible war. If we were well informed, we would have made a different decision. It doesn't get any clearer than that. Your rights are all actions that do not cause any harm to another human being. You are doing the right thing. Let that sink in for a moment, because people usually think that you can look up these rights in some kind of fixed list. Well, that would be impossible to do, because the point is that these rights are unlimited. If you do not cause any harm to another being, it is a right in the eyes of creation. Now that starts to sound a lot like freedom, doesn't it? The definitions of property, harm, and rights together are what we call the moral law that governs our reality. With our, I mean we as human beings. We humans have the capacity of making moral decisions, unlike animals. We have a different level of consciousness than animals. These moral laws apply to us, not to them. We are not animals. But if someone tries to harm me, what can I do? Well, for this situation, the principle of non-aggression applies. You should not or cannot harm anyone, but you can defend your properties by all force necessary. Yes, that is right, by all force necessary. You are allowed to defend your properties at all times by all means. It is the only probable situation in which it is allowed to do harm. Hence, to me, freedom is to be able to obtain any knowledge, manifest anything, and perform any action without harming another being, and to be able to self-defend and protect my properties. Okay, I've just applied moral law to my life. Will I be free soon? Well, if society as a whole would do the same thing, you will. But a lot of people do not think likewise. If the whole of society would live according to moral law, you would truly be free. This is also called anarchy, as opposed to hierarchy or slavery. That's right, slavery. But aren't anarchists the people that riot and want lawlessness? No, that is propaganda. The state does not like the idea of anarchy. It would destroy their reign. The truth is that a true anarchist would never assault nor steal. True anarchists apply the moral laws to their lives. I think Jesus was an anarchist. The people you see on television assaulting and stealing propagate chaos. That is not freedom. So didn't we end slavery? No. As long as governments and companies are allowed to take the products of your labor without your consent, lie at their own will, invade your privacy, and so on, we are all in a state of slavery. Now we are ready to explore why we still are in a state of slavery. We all want freedom, so who is our adversary? There are people that do not want to live according to moral law and want to live life as they desire. Do what thou wilt. They, and especially their ways of thinking, are our adversaries. They are called Satanists. Satan is the Hebrew word for adversary, the adversary of the Creator. Let's explore the four major tenets of Satanism. Self-preservation. You, your will, and your desires are the most important thing on this planet. Moral relativism. You create laws. You tell what is right or what is wrong. Social Darwinism. An elite group rules over others because they happen to be smarter, stronger, or have more knowledge. Eugenics. You get to decide who lives or dies. These tenets are all contradictory to moral law. If you support one of those tenets, you are a Satanist in practice. That means you might not call yourself a Satanist, but you do act like one. You share their ways of thinking even without realizing it. Think about that. Maybe you are one of the adversaries of your own freedom. For example, a lot of people think that men can make laws. That makes you a moral relativist and therefore a Satanist in practice. It will lead to coercion, theft, e.g. taxation, and so on. Also, a lot of people think that the world is overpopulated and something should be done about it. It is a eugenicist mindset, and it also makes you a Satanist in practice. If you have come to the conclusion that you in fact are a practicing Satanist, well, you're looking at the real problem, because you are not the only one, and that is exactly what is wrong with the world today. These are the steps towards freedom. 1. Stop being a Satanist in practice. 2. Understand what your true properties are. 3. Understand what a harm is, namely the taking away of the property of another being. 4. Understand what a right is, namely an action that does not initiate harm to another being. 5. Apply moral law to your life. It sounds easy, but please remember that truly understanding all this takes a lot more study and hard work than only listening to this information. This is just an initiation. And after that comes the second part, which is at least as hard as the first part, which is applying this knowledge. Applying knowledge is called wisdom. Without wisdom, there will be no change. Not applying knowledge is like not having any knowledge at all. I hope this brief introduction into freedom and morality has been useful to you and gives you a better understanding of anarchy and Satanism. Please keep researching, and good luck in helping to make this world a better place.
Change is gonna come.